tutti. Eccoci qua. Iniziamo, buonasera a tutti. Fiore numero 4. Dico bene, prof, teacher? E questa sera Gloria, che non ha bisogno di presentazioni, ci parlerà, come vedete, di Walt Whitman, poeta americano. Quindi senza alcun indugio vi auguro buon ascolto, anzi buona partecipazione. Vige sempre la regola che, essendo per questa seconda iniziativa in meno rispetto ai numeri dei primi seminari, avremo piacere di interagire con il microfono, quindi evitiamo per cortesia la chat e domande, osservazioni, condivisioni le facciamo come sempre al microfono. Allora, buon ascolto, buon webinar. A Gloria, a te la parola.
Ok, allora, ciao a tutti. Intanto volevo fare una piccola introduzione in italiano, poi passiamo all'inglese. Volevo sapere se sapete qualcosa di questo autore, quindi velocissimi, se avete una ragione, diciamo, per conoscerlo, se siete solo curiosi invece di saperne qualcosa, quindi se mi riuscite a dire qualcosina, magari un po' i più coraggiosi rompano il ghiaccio, basta proprio una parola, un momento magari in cui avete avuto l'occasione di conoscerlo, oppure appunto solo un po' di curiosità di avvicinarvi un po' alla letteratura americana.
Oh, capitano, mio capitano.
Esatto, l'unica cosa che so è il nome di, non avendo studiato letteratura americana purtroppo a scuola, l'unica cosa è il film famoso in cui si nomina, però lì ti innamori di questo autore senza conoscerlo per le poche cose che vengono fuori da quel film.
Ok, va bene, quindi immagino che siate tutti all'attimo presente questa Dead Society, va bene? Altri che hanno altri contributi sull'autore?
Io ne conosco un'altra, sua poesia, se non sbaglio intitolata Il viaggiatore, adesso però molto breve, però adesso non la ricordo, che mi è piaciuta moltissimo. E, ho letto qualcosa della sua biografia, ma ancora tempo fa, e mi ha sempre ispirato molto Walt Whitman, sì.
Ok, va bene. Qualcun altro? Sento una voce di sottofondo, non ho capito se qualcuno volesse intervenire, se no parto. Ok, allora, la piccola... sì, spegnete il microfono quando avete interagito e dopo quando qualcuno di voi vuole interagire e parlare spengo il mio così non abbiamo eco. Allora, credo nell'insegnamento della letteratura e quindi è il motivo per cui ho scelto Whitman, per il fatto che la letteratura deve dire qualcosa ancora ad oggi, quindi anche studiando letteratura del passato deve riuscire a parlarci ancora ad oggi. E ho selezionato questo autore per la situazione di quarantena e l'emergenza che abbiamo vissuto in questo periodo e poi vi spiego perché. Ci dice qualcosa che ci può essere utile anche per riflettere su questo periodo. Ho scelto questo autore perché, come alcuni di voi hanno detto, è parte della letteratura americana e solitamente la scuola, ma anche in generale quello che leggiamo nelle librerie è più letteratura britannica, quindi anche per dare un autore un po' diverso e darvi dei suggerimenti, perché parla dell'America, quindi se farete un viaggio in America avete anche l'occasione di vedere piccoli pezzi di lui sparsi ovunque, e soprattutto perché è un autore che ama le piccole cose, quindi non fa discorsi troppo difficili, non utilizza un lessico difficile da interpretare, ma parla proprio a un lettore che non ha nessun tipo di background e che è come avere un amico davanti che ci sta parlando. Quindi queste sono le motivazioni, diciamo, che mi hanno spinto a scegliere Whitman rispetto alla miriade di altri autori che mi piacciono. Allora, let's start by the initial quotation. I believe a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars. The leaf of grass is the small amount of grass that you find going outside in the open field. And according to Walt Whitman, the stars, so this journey work of the stars, this magical work of the stars, is nothing more than a leaf of grass. The title of his masterpiece is Leaves of Grass. If you think about grass, you can find grass everywhere. You go to the mountains, you go walking in the countryside, and you find grass everywhere. Grass resists. Grass is everywhere, and this is a comparison to humans. We are all different, as all the leaves of grass are different, but we are unique. In this case, we are original, but at the same time, we are equal. We are a group of individuals who have to cooperate among themselves. So this is the idea of leaf of grass. One leaf of grass is yourself, is your special originality, but at the same time, if I look from far distant away, I can see grass as a unique entity, that is the humans, okay? So Walt Whitman speaks about the simple things and what is the easiest, what is the simplest of the thing, grass, okay? So this is the reason of the name, the title of the masterpiece. Let's move to the second slide. I don't know if you can see that. Yes. Okay, so this is very interesting artwork that has been published in the New York Times some weeks ago, and the title was "Locked Inside, We're Like Whitman, Finding Joy in Smallness." So if you read carefully all the lines in this work, you have the initial opening lines of Leaves of Grass. The artist, this is a Mexican artist, has decided to speak about the quarantine, the fact that we have been forced to stay inside, locked, okay, no possibilities of going out. And he speaks about the fact that being locked inside our houses has helped us concentrating, focusing on the small things of life, being with our family, watching a film, for example. So having time to dedicate to ourselves. And this is the idea of Whitman. You have to focus on yourself. You have to take care of yourself. So I believe A Leaf of Grass is no less than the journey work of the stars. This is the initial line. And if you go on, he speaks about the importance of small things. I don't know, how have you spent your quarantine? Have you discovered something new about yourself? Have you had more time to play sport, to practice, to cook, to test new things? How have you spent your quarantine? What are the small things, the small joys that you have dedicated to yourself? Have you discovered a new yourself?
I discovered that I can do without many things that I thought to be indispensable. Now, for me, I discovered the superficiality of many things that I did before.
Okay. Yes, because usually when you have more time to dedicate to yourself, you start thinking about the priorities. What is more important? Where was I wasting my time? So you start having different priorities. Thank you. Any other examples of priorities, small things that made you happy? Any other examples of things that made you happy? Okay, let's move on. No worries. So my question for you is, what makes a great poet? How can we say, how can we distinguish a very good poet from not so much talented poet? I will give you some clues, okay, some suggestions, and then you tell me which of these is, according to you, the best way, the best criterion to describe and distinguish a great poet. Having something to say, so the ability of communicating, having something to say also in the content, so communicating a specific content. Number 2, having the capacity for clear thought. So the ability of having maybe complicated thoughts and then using the words in order to simplify those words. Number 3, being genius at putting your emotion into words, because sometimes poetry is about feelings and emotions. And I don't know if you ever tried to write a letter to someone, a partner or a friend or a member of your family. Using words in order to describe emotions is very difficult. You think you are too banal, you think you are writing stupid things, and you sometimes want to find original words. So this is maybe the characteristics of a poet, what makes a great poet. Number 4, possessing curiosity, constantly asking why and how. So questioning life, questioning things in life. Number 5 is very technical. You are a great poet if you can use rhythm, if you can use the language in a very proper way. So the verse is important, the rhythm of the sound. Number 6, being a representative of your time. So if you speak about a precise moment, let's say that today I want to become a poet. If I have to write something nowadays, I am a representative of my period, of my time. If I say something about the coronavirus, if I speak about my time, the difficulties of people without job, without any kind of certainty. So is it this that makes a great poet? And number 7, speaking to future generations. If we still study literature in school, even though the students are not so happy about studying literature, if we study literature today, it's because poets are speaking to future generations. So according to you, which of these 7 characteristics are the most important? You can select the top 3, the only one. So what is in your mind the characteristics of a great poet?
The reasons why I love the poets that you know are basically in points 3 and 7. This is the reason why I love my poets.
Okay, so
3, 7, and 4. 3, 7, and 4 for me. Hi, Gloria.
okay, hello Lucilla, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, so you agree with Ricardo, the idea of being able to use words to describe your emotion, being constantly looking for answers and questioning yourself, and speaking to future generations. So the contemporarity of the poet. Okay, someone else saying.
I think also the third point for me it is the most important.
Any other comments? What do you think about point 5? Is it really important? Is it fundamental to describe if a poet is great or not? The ability of knowing technically the language used?
Yeah, it may be. Yes, I think so.
Because if you think about Dante, for example, that is the father of the Italian language, if you think about Shakespeare, the father of the early modern English, you consider those poets as technically perfect, using the correct balance between sounds and words. And this is not like waking up one morning and writing something just for the pleasure of writing. So we need some technical information and technical criteria to describe a good poet. Okay, these are some pictures. Can I have some volunteers for describing the pictures? So we have different pictures. I don't want to give you any clues. It is a good activity even to build up words, okay, correct vocabulary to describe the photos. Any ideas?
The first one is from the film The Dead Poets Society, the final scene when the teacher gets over the la scrivania, non mi ricordo.
Desk.
And says to the children that they have to be free in their
mindset. They have to have a free mindset. Free thought, not chained to tradition, not chained to stereotypes. Okay, so yes, so the title of this film that I highly recommend is The Dead Poets Society. The translation of The Dead Poets Society is La setta dei poeti morti, okay? But in Italy, the choice for the translation and the adaptation of the title was L'attimo fuggente, that is the idea of carpe diem. The reason is, if you watch the film, you will find that one of the students taught is taking annotation during the lesson. And there's Horatio, that is a famous poet, who speaks about carpe diem, so seize the day. This is in English. Carpe diem in English is seize the day. Seize, ok, è scritto siese, che significa cogliere, agguantare, prendere. Seize the day. And the idea is that this teacher is very unconventional. He's not like the other teachers of this school. It's a very narrow-minded environment where the children are, the kids, teenagers are going. This is a very narrow-minded environment in school, and he is completely unconventional. What is important to remember is that the teacher himself represents Whitman. Whitman not only was a poet, but he did tons of different professions during his life. He was a journalist, he was a painter, and also he was a teacher. He was expelled from the school where he used to teach because instead of teaching science, like in a very conventional way, going to class, writing information on the blackboard, he used to bring the children outside, showing the environment, showing the insect, and reflecting with the children, with the students, about life. For this reason, he was not very welcomed in the school. What you have to know about the biography of Walt Whitman is that he belonged to a blue-collar family. Do you know what is blue-collar? A blue-collar family. Any ideas of blue-collar?
A blue-collar is an employee who works in a not a manual worker, but a person who...
That's the opposite. The white collar and the blue collar.
Okay.
So the collar is when you wear a shirt, you have a collar, right? So if you are a white collar, it means that you are a lawyer and you work in an office, so you wear very smart clothes during the day. If you are a blue collar, it is because of the color of the uniform, working inside a factory, so you are a worker. And the family, so the father was a blue collar, so he didn't receive education. He didn't have the possibility of studying at school. And for this reason, when he speaks, when he writes, he tries to use the simplest of the language, just because he was voracious about reading books, he was very curious about life, and he thought about the importance of go outside, watch what is happening outside, don't rely on books, just live your life and experience your life. So this teacher looks like Whitman because he is trying to push the student into experiencing, thinking on their feet without having judgmental stereotypes. The poem, the kind that is in this film is "O Captain, my Captain," right?
Yes.
"O Captain, my Captain" has been written by Walt Whitman for Abraham Lincoln. Okay? Abraham Lincoln is the responsible of having brought the democracy and the freedom in America. So when Lincoln died, Whitman was shocked. He was sad, he was desperate, so he wrote this very long and powerful poem writing, "O Captain, my Captain." So Lincoln, you are the captain, and you have brought the ship that is America into a secure port. You have saved us. So you have led the population of America, that is a boat, to the harbor, to the port. And now we are safe thanks to you. So if you want to read Hukaidi's "O Captain, my Captain," think about the context. It is a political poem. It's a celebration for a figure, Abraham Lincoln, who has brought democracy and freedom to the United States, America at that time, okay? So this is a guiding figure, guiding, of course, and leading the country to a very secure port. So there's the, okay? Then, what about the other pictures? I need some boys, I need some men commenting the car.
Mauro, for example.
The car is brand is a sport car, and is its brand is Volvo, and I think is one of new model of Volvo.
Okay.
It's blue.
Is it expensive?
Sorry.
Luxurious car. Is it expensive? Luxurious car.
I think so. Quite expensive. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Any ideas why did I put the photo of a Volvo here?
I don't know.
Any idea? Any suggestions? Any speculations?
Maybe because it's an American car, American brand.
Is it an American car?
No, it's
Swedish.
Swedish.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, so I'm not sure because I don't care about the brands of cars, so I just accept all your speculations. No, this is not a reason why I put the picture, but I will reveal at the end, okay, of the presentation why there is a Volvo here. Let's go to the third picture. What's in the picture?
Apple.
Apple. Yes, this is the iPad by Apple.
Yes.
Any ideas why there is the picture of an apple?
Because Whitman is foolish, has jobs.
Okay, so Paul, okay, like a crazy person, okay, maybe there is the idea of the founder, okay, who was very unconventional, okay, I like your speculations. What about the flag? I told you something at the beginning, right, of the presentation, the reason why I've selected Whitman.
Because of the American literature, because he was a representative of American literature.
Yes, he is considered the American poet. During the attack of the 9/11, where there was the attack against the United States, the first Google research on the web was finding out sentences and quotations from Whitman. So all the population were looking for important quotations and sentences from Whitman because he is very much studied in colleges and university. So all the Americans think about Whitman as their symbol of their country. Okay, and we will find in a couple of seconds why. Last thing, what do we have? Any fashion addict here?
Perhaps because the blue jeans is are trousers which workers non mi ricordo indossare.
Used to wear.
Used to wear.
Okay, this is a good point, a good guessing. So Levi's, this is the pronunciation of this brand, okay, it's not Levi, it's Levi's, okay, and you have the apostrophe because of the Saxon genitive, okay, Levi's, because this is the name of the tailor who first invented and produced denim and the jeans. You will see again.
Attenzione Gloria che ti sei chiuso il microfono.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, sorry. So the pronunciation is Levi's, okay, of the name of the jeans. And the reason is because Levi was this tailor who invented denim, so this material, creating, of course, later on the jeans that were used by the American Navy and the farmers and by the workers because this material was very resistant, okay? let's go to the analysis of very quickly, because it's a simple and powerful poem. I hear America singing. So when you hear America singing, it means that the verb of perception is the sounds, okay? People singing. When people sing, usually they're quite happy. You sing because you are thinking about life. You sing because you're happy because you have received positive news. So what about the pictures here? What do these pictures have in common? What do you think?
Workers.
Workers, okay. Do you recognize special jobs here? You can also use the bold words in order to help you.
Hand jobs.
Okay, hand jobs. Yes, this is typically a hand label using your hands. What else?
Farmer.
Sorry?
Farmer.
Okay, yes, we have farmer.
Plug boys.
Shoemaker.
Shoemaker, perfect. What else?
Secretary.
Carpenter.
Carpenter, yes, exactly. Carpenter. What else?
Fisherman.
Okay, yes. What about the man with the horse? Do you recognize? Do you identify him as a farmer? Yes, all of you. Would you opt for farmer?
I don't understand.
I didn't understand the question.
Yes. If you take a look at the picture with the horse, there
Yeah,
is
it's
Yes.
It's plowing.
okay, so do you recognize him as a farmer? But if
No,
you go to the original text, as Mauro is saying, is a
plowing.
boy.
Plowing. Yeah.
Yes, plough boy. Okay, plough boy. Can you see that in the text? Okay, you have plough boys on his way in the morning. Okay, so all the pictures you have here represent the professions that are mentioned in the text. The poem is about all the people who are making America. America is not made by politicians. America has not been made by governors. America has been made by people working, making sacrifices, and collaborating for a unique dream, for a shared dream. So I hear Americans singing, the varied carols I hear, and the carols that are the songs are all different because we are all different. We sing our tunes, we select our lyrics, but the fact is that it's America singing. It's not different songs. It's a unique melody that is heard. There are the mechanics, and each time Whitman speaks and mentions a precise profession, he also describes the daily routine, the activity of that profession. The mechanic is using his strong hands in order to sing. The carpenter measures the plank or the beam. These are all the tools used by the carpenter. The mason, do you know who is the mason? Which picture does represent the mason?
Is working with the bricks or not?
Yes, number 3, right? Starting from the beginning, we have working with bricks, by putting things in layers. Then you have the boatman. Boatman, the deckhand. Do you know who is a deckhand? Because it comes from the word deck.
Deck is the port.
Yes, deck is a port. So the deckhand is a secondary figure helping the boatman in all the movements and the activities around the port. You have the shoemaker, as you have already mentioned, singing, sitting on his bench, and then you have the hatter singing, the woodcutter, the plough boy on his way in the morning. So they are all described while they're going to their work. So what is important? The duty. They want rights, but they have also duty. And the duty is building America. What is interesting and makes Wilton a radical thinker is that he includes girls and women. Girls and women were not very relevant at that time. they were still considered unimportant, okay, in comparison to men. But he speaks about the delicious singing of the mother. But also, he doesn't only speak about women as mothers, but also he refers to the young wife at work. So women can work, women have rights, women can build their own future, and also the girl sewing and washing. So he was very unconventional also because he was brave. He was saying whatever was important, that was equality, equality between genders, okay? And the final lines are, and they all sing in the day and in the night, and they sing with open mouth their strong melodious songs. So I think this is brilliant because it gives with simple examples the idea of the importance of a community. The United States themselves are essentially the greatest poem. This is what Whitman used to say and repeat. America, you just have to look at the United States and you have the greatest poem, made of people, made of histories, made of stories, and this is quite interesting. The last one is a gift for you, okay? Because in this very famous line, I don't know if you like Roberto Benigni, but he is quite used to analyzing Dante's, for example, the Divine Comedy. And if you are curious, you can also listen to a lecture that Roberto Benigni had on this Whitman's poem, and it is "Oh Me, Oh Life." In green, you have negative elements. In blue, light blue, you have positive elements. Just taking a quick look, do we have more negative or more positive elements?
Negative.
Negative, right? But despite the fact that the first appearance, the first sensation, impression is that we have more negative elements, this is a very optimistic and positive poem. Let's start by the answer. That you are here, that life exists, and identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What is the poem saying here? What is the poet saying to us? That we are here, we exist, and no matter the difficulties of our time, the play, the exhibition, the show, life goes on. And what is your role? You have to contribute. You have to say something. You have to act. You have to take action instead of just thinking about you as a microcosm. You have to think about your community. The negative elements are because he thinks about life as meaningless. He sometimes thinks about himself as a selfish man. Does it sound familiar? Because I think that all of us can see ourselves mirrored and reflected in this description. Foolish, vainly crave the light, eyes that vainly crave the light. Do you know what is vainly and crave? What's the meaning of craving?
It's like crave, it's like wanting for something so badly.
Yes, if your eyes are looking desperately for the light, it means that you want something for the future. You are dreaming about the future. But according to Whitman, this is vainly. So, vain, a vuoto, right? Pointless, meaningless. And he says, we have a difficult life. Our life is empty. Our life sometimes appear to be useless. And the question, go and read the bold lines. The question is, what good aim it is? Oh me, oh life. So what is the purpose of life? And he gives this very extraordinary answer that the secret of life is contributing, taking action. What do you think? Any comments, any feedbacks? Is there a precise line you like?
If I don't mistake, this is also one of the poems that is that you can see in the movie. poet society.
Yes, because again, this is a teacher, this is an adult saying and teaching to the children, to the kids, do something in your life. Stop complaining, stop thinking about you as a person who is subject to other people's decisions. Take your action, go on the stage, perform your life, and think about the power you have. So these last lines are often used also by psychologists, for example, when they have to convince people as a motivational speech. Does it touch you? Do you feel influenced? Do you feel touched by the sentences?
Very much. For me, for example, very much, yeah.
And again, this is what makes a poet a great poet, the ability of touching little chords of our heart, saying something that is valuable and precious for a teenager, but also to a person who is very old. So the endless and the eternity of the verses. Any questions? In the link that you find here, you have the possibility of listening to the reading of this poem. So you have a very good voice. Okay, the timbre of the voice is beautiful. So just take a look, you click on, and you just listen to the sounds of the poem. Okay, now I will reveal my secrets. So this is Walt Whitman in the drawing, because last year there was an exhibition at the MoMA, that is the one of the most famous museums in New York, and they dedicated a full exhibition, a whole exhibition to Whitman. So some artists were asked to write something or to draw pictures, portrait, or whatever. So I find this drawings very interesting. And then you have iPad commercial, Volvo commercial, and device commercial. So what's the secret? Why did I put those pictures? What is a commercial?
Una pubblicità.
Yes. So if you take a look at these links, I don't know, Ricardo, can we share the audio and so on from the presentation?
Let's try, because the quality of your audio is not the best. Maybe let's try it. Otherwise, we can share the links onto the chat box in case the quality is not good enough. Let's try to click on the link and see what happens.
So when you watch these commercials, think about the idea of America, so the essential concept of being American, and think about speaking to everyone. So the universal idea of being all together. I don't know if it is working. If not, I will just share with you the links.
It's not working, but maybe, I don't know, if you opened if you open the file, maybe you have to share the screen again, the page you are actually watching. I don't know, can you see the YouTube file or no?
No, it's not working. It's very slow. So as it is quite interesting to watch, I will leave all the students here to watch it at home, okay, so they have time to appreciate and reflect on the sounds.
That's not so bad, because the usual, you can find everything on the club page of the website, so you can download all the presentation together with the 3 links.
Yes, for sure. Okay, this was pretty much what I wanted to share with you, because I think that sometimes having feedbacks and having a general presentation and introduction to a writer helps you selecting if you want to deep your knowledge, if you want to read something. So my recommendation is to start with a very short poem, okay, if you want to read Whitman, because Leaves of Grass is a collection of more than 100 poems, because he has worked on this collection for whole his life, modifying, introducing, adding new poems. So it's if you don't start with the simplest, it's very difficult to analyze the content and understand and appreciate that. So my recommendation is, "O Captain, my Captain," and "I celebrate myself." If you read "I celebrate myself",
No.
Riccardo, se vuoi dire qualcosa sull'ultima canzone di cui abbiamo parlato, "I Contain Multitudes". I don't know if you know the singer. It has been released not so a long time ago. Do you know who is the singer of "I Contain Multitudes"?
Guarda, Lucilla e io stiamo approfondendo la cosa. Infatti va bene. Stiamo studiando io e Lucy.
Yes.
So "I Contain Multitudes" is a song by
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, yes. Bob Dylan is very famous for inserting and using quotations and references to literature in order to write the lyrics. So "I Contain Multitudes" is a strong and open reference to "I Celebrate Myself" by Whitman. So if you want to start from this, you can listen to the song "I Contain Multitudes," and then you read "I Celebrate Myself," where he speaks about each of us being made of atoms and being equal because of a scientific point of view, and then being different because of our heart and our thoughts. So it's quite interesting. Any questions, any feedbacks?
No.
Okay. That was just great, Gloria. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Allora, intanto ringrazio Gloria a nome di quanti. Poi volevo dirvi che il prossimo appuntamento è venerdì, dopodomani 18:30, riavremo con noi il nostro Renzo potenziato, e dopo averci parlato di Dante alcune settimane fa ci presenta, anzi ci ripresenta, ma in un modo completamente diverso, vedrete, l'Infinito di Giacomo Leopardi. E la rassegna si concluderà poi la prossima settimana, ma ne parleremo comunque venerdì in seguito all'incontro di Renzo.